Hi, I'm Edward Hudgens of the Atlas Society, the Center for Objectivism, and I want to talk about Barack Obama's address this week concerning the oil spill in the Gulf. Now first, while Barack Obama rightly bemoaned the pollution caused by that oil spill, he failed to acknowledge that a major and continuing problem with the cleanup is the federal government itself. Example, for weeks, Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal has been trying to get permission from the federal government to build sandbars off of his state to keep the oil from coming in. And the bureaucracy, however, in Washington has basically been sticking to its red tape, which has meant that the sticky oil has continued to go towards the marshes on the shores of Louisiana. Example, the Jones Act requires that any ship traveling between American ports must be an American flagged vessel, American made, with American crews. And what this has done is prevented foreign vessels that have dealt with oil spills elsewhere in the world from coming to our assistance during this time of emergency. Example, a few days after Barack Obama's address, the Coast Guard issued cease and desist orders to 16 barges that literally were sucking oil out of the Gulf because they weren't quite sure whether those barges had complied with all of the federal regulations, whether they had the right kind of fire extinguishers and this, that, and the other. So these are the guys, by the way, who want to control our healthcare industry. Okay, second, Obama was disingenuous when he said that one of the reasons that BP was drilling a mile deep in the Gulf is, quote, because we're running out of places to drill on land and in shallow waters. Not true, and he knows it. Okay, look at a map, Mr. President. The Arctic National Wildlife Preserve in Alaska is larger than 10, count them, 10 American states. And it probably has something like 10 billion barrels of oil up there. Drilling facilities would cover no more than the size of a major airport, yet the federal government has banned drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. Further, there are lots of places in the United States where drilling is technically legal, but it takes years for oil companies to get permission to drill there, so drilling simply does not occur. Third, the one thing missing from Barack Obama's address was any mention of the individual. Obama said, for example, that we send nearly 1 billion of our wealth to foreign countries each day for their oil. Who the hell is we? I, as an individual, spend my money on gasoline to power my car, to power my lawnmower. Energy companies purchase oil so that they can generate electricity, which I purchase so I can heat my home and air condition my home. I spend my money the way I want to, Mr. President. It's not your money, it's mine. If I choose to spend it on energy, that's my business, not yours. But you would tax and regulate the energy market so that we would be forced to pay a lot more. You complained about us paying $1 billion a day to foreign countries. Well, you think it would be better if we had to pay $3 billion or $4 billion or $5 billion because of your regulations? This brings me to my final point. You support the goals of the environmentalist cult that sees energy use as a sin, that sees human beings as a form of pollution. That cult wants to reduce human activities as such for the sake of Mother Earth, for Gaia. We human beings survive and flourish by transforming the world to meet our needs, which includes producing energy. The battle right now is not simply over how to reduce the risks of such oil spills in the future. It is a battle over whether human beings actually have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which would include producing oil to fulfill our needs and to fulfill our dreams. Thank you for your attention.